in history.
Oh wow, there's quite a chat controversy about this. I'm enjoying it, but I guess we should talk about picks and bans here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. It'll be interesting. Yeah, Kog'Maw first ban there. It's not surprising. Usually when Curse is able to get Kog'Maw in one game, it's just ban next game, because even if it's not Jackie's incredible AP mid with it, it's just not an AD you want to see either. Kog'Maw is so powerful at this point. We do see the Soraka ban there. That's something we've seen a little bit more over here. It's in every game in EU, Soraka is banned. Just absolutely never allowed at all.
Yeah, it's Kog'Maw and Vigar both super targeted at Jackie. Let's see what the third ban is going to be from 4Not.
Yeah, those bans, Jackie's really pulling them in today.
Oh, now there's someone named Pluto's Revenge in here. Fantastic.
And the Mundo ban. I would say that's a targeted ban at Crumbs because he's a very good Mundo, but you should always ban Mundo. He's just the most powerful jungler right now. Incredible CC, incredible damage, and he just naturally is going to build very tanky. Very, very hard to deal with.
I just wonder how it feels when you're a top player who plays champions so well that they're super targeted bans at you in tournament play. It just must feel good, you know? Just must feel great. Any game where Jackie's not in there, they're probably not going to ban Vigar.
No, because nobody else really plays Vigar like Jackie does. I mean, and a lot of players have had that one champion that just for some reason the way the champion works is very much their play style, and they just become amazing with him.
Yeah, and I mean, Cog can also, of course, be played as AD, so therefore Cop can take reign of him, but Kog'Maw just a good ban overall, but still, we just saw the power of Jackie's Kog'Maw, and it was fantastic.
Yep, and we will see the Janna pick first again. I'd say a majority of the games we've done have had a Janna first pick. Very, very powerful support right now. And just the shields are very good. The ult is amazing for team fights. Again, a passable lane phase, but just an incredible team fighting presence. And we do see a Shen pick up here, possibly from Curse, as well as a lock-in on Nocturne. Nocturne is one of Crumb's favorite junglers, so this should be interesting.
Yeah, and Shen just so strong.
Well, his ultimate is still very, very powerful. The hotfixes made it so he wasn't, horribly overpowered, but still a very, very good champion.
Most definitely. I'm assuming we'll probably see him top lane, just because of the Nocturne in the jungle. But, I mean, either can go top lane. I've seen it work either way, but I'm pretty sure Nocturne is more at home in the jungle than Shen is.
Yeah, I mean, Nocturne is pretty much designed for the jungle.
So far, people are saying in chat, calling it right, that it is basically team almost global. Now, Nocturne's going to be able to fly in from a quarter way across the map. Shen's going to be able to teleport from anywhere. It's going to be rough.
Yeah, I mean, Nocturne's ability to fly over wards is really annoying for support players because you have to either ward really, really far out, but even then you don't know exactly where he's coming from. So, and you can do your best with it, but sometimes you just get ganked. You couldn't see it coming. You couldn't know it was happening, even if you play support very, very well.
Ooh, Urgot. I would love to see an Urgot Shen, because that would just be so much tankiness. So hard for an opposing AD carry to kill after they get swapped and potential Shen ultimate into. Not very good. And Tarek. That's going to be a scary bot lane.
Yeah, and it's
scary bot lane.
Urgot's really going to have to control that lane, though, because he's not going to scale as well into late game, but it should go pretty well for him. That stun, Janna's lane phase is not as good as Tarek's, but certainly a better teamfight presence.
And we haven't even really mentioned a top lane. Well, there's Eve. A top lane KO. Top lane KO is something that's kind of had a slight resurgence, and I'd be really excited to see it because she can put out a lot of damage when she activates her ranged ability and gets a Q off because she just increases the damage on the target she Qs, and she can bully a lot of people out of lane. I'll be interested to see the KO versus Shin matchup. I've never seen that one before.
Yeah, and it does look like they're going to grab Morgana. Switching to Tristana here. That could be a little bit more interesting, but I don't know. Tristana's so much about getting that jump in there. I don't know if you really want to jump in aggressively against a Taric and Urgot.
No, you don't. And Karthus as the last quick lock-in from Jackie. So Jackie gonna be playing on the Karthus. So this is three of the five members of Curse are gonna have a long range ultimate. Jackie is gonna have a global. Shin's gonna have a global. Nocturne's gonna be able to fly in. I am very scared if I'm 4Not at this moment. Very scared.
Yeah, I mean their Kayle top lane has really good potential to do well against Pobelter on Shen, but I think their bottom lane, at least in the laning phase, is going to have nothing but trouble. Mid will be interesting. Morgana, the shield is going to help, but so much damage from Karthus. This is probably just going to be a royal pain.
A lot of people saying right now that Kayle is going to eat up Shen. I wonder. I'm excited to see how it's going to go. Some people saying Shen will eat up Kayle, so we'll see. People are calling it now. Kayle rapes Shen.
And I always hear that sound and I get all excited, like, yay, the game's starting, and then it's like, wait, no.
Nope, we got 3 minutes.
Yep, 3 minutes to wait. Ah, well. I don't know, like, with these lane setups that we have, I just don't... The only lane I see 4Not being able to win is top lane.
I mean, assuming that people are right and saying that Kayle does beat Shen as hard as they presume. Like I said, I've never seen the matchup. I know that Shen is just a super strong top lane because he just stays there. His Vorpal Blade keeps him in the game. The feint allows him to soak up a lot of damage. And between that and his Shadow Dash, where he takes 50% less damage from the target that he taunts, he can bully a lot of people out of lane. But Kayle, maybe she's the exception. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not a matchup I've seen a whole lot, mostly because Shen is banned in almost everything these days, even after the nerfs to the ult and the hot fixes and stuff. But we'll see, as we go into Game 2 here, what exactly they'll be able to do. Again, I'm a little confused by the AD pick, just because it is one of those ADs that really has to go in there and get aggressive, and I don't know if that's, if you want to jump right into that Taric stun and, Urgot swap and everything they've got there.
Yeah.
For regular auto attacks, there'll be the increased range with level, but besides that...
Yeah, but by the flip side of that coin is, yeah, she's a champion that likes to go all in with her jump, but it also can be used super defensively, and she can just get out of there as soon as Urgot decides to engage, or as soon as Urgot lands one of his poisons. Maybe she can get out of the way a couple Acid Hunters. I'm not quite sure if he lands a max range poison and she jumps to her max range, whether his Acid Hunters will still be able to lock on to her. That'll be an interesting range differential. We'll see if that works. But, I mean, Taric and Urgot's scary. That's all I can say about that. As far as the mid is concerned, Morgana versus Karthus, I would probably say Karthus is going to be able to take that one. The Black Shield's going to prevent a little bit of damage from Karthus, but he just has so much spammability with his Lay Waste and his Defile and his walls and stuff that I think Morgana's going to be a sitting duck.
Yeah, and Morgana's ult's going to be very powerful in team fights, when everybody's grouped together. But we have a very tanky team here from Curse, so especially if Karthus builds decently tanky, which most Karthus players do, I don't see even if the ult is able to stun someone, I don't see anyone getting burst really quickly here. It's not a burst-heavy team from 4Not, and it's a lot of tanky champions from Curse. Mm-hmm.
The 4Not's team, however, is kind of shields.com. They're going to have Black Shield, Kayle Ultimate, Turtle Shield, Janna Shield. Tristana just chills, I suppose. She can get shielded by most of those, which is always a good thing. But, whenever Karthus goes for that ultimate to try to pick off someone, there's so many ways for 4Not to mitigate that damage. If they see their lowest health target for the enemy team, they can throw Black Shield, Kayle Ultimate, or Janna Shield on there to help the lowest target mitigate a lot of damage.
Yep, and here we are loading into game. Going to go ahead and run a commercial as we load in, and we should get started with Game 2 in this best of 3 between Curse and 4Not. Again, Curse is up 1-0.
Yes, indeed. I'm not quite sure if you're going to run an ad. Probably not that.
I just said I was going to.
Damn it. I don't listen to you.
You really don't. All right, here we go. Everybody's loaded in here.
Is there really a Han commercial? Did you just play a Han commercial?
I don't pick the commercial.
That's so funny. Targeted audience right there.
All right, here we go. I really don't think we're going to see a level 1 fight here. I don't even know which team I would call as having the level 1 advantage.
I would potentially say, I mean, they both have a decent stun between Dazzle and, Dark Binding, except for the fact that Terex is hard, meaning he just clicks it and it happens. Morgana would be forced to land a skill shot. Curse, however, looks like they're going to go for a little bit of invade here, but 4Not is pinging, so they definitely know what's going on, but Kale's so far away, Udyr so far away. I think 4Not's just going to play this one defensively and not engage at all, of course.
30 seconds until minions.
Yeah, interesting to see if they're going to go and try to catch Westrice here, or if they're just going to grab red.
Oh man, I hope Westrice doesn't check that bush. I hope Curiosity doesn't kill the Trist. Let's see what happens. Curse just patrolling the jungle like it's right now. And it looks like they've decided to back off Pobelter and Cop going back at this point in time. So no steal, interestingly enough. I thought maybe they would try to steal a red, but I guess they were feeling a little bit too apprehensive about it. All the while, Udyr looks like he may... No, he's not going to take... He's not going to take Crumbs' race. He's just going to move on to his own blue. He hasn't picked a skill yet, so I'm assuming we're going to see a Phoenix Udyr. A lot of times that is what you see, but he could go Tiger. He actually picks up Tiger first, so we're going to see a Tiger stance Udyr. So he's not going to have as fast of a jungle clear as Phoenix, but his ganks I think are going to be a little bit more deadly. That proc from the damage that he gets on his first attack when he activates Tiger stance is very, very lethal, especially against a squishy Karthus right now with only 465 health.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to watch. We don't really see a whole lot of a Tiger out of the jungle anymore.
No, indeed. So Kale versus Shin top is what we're going to have. The Karthus, Morg mid. It's all the lanes that we pretty much expected. 4Not is not pulling out any weird stuff like sending 2 top anymore. Looks like they've decided to kind of transition back to the old tried and true meta here.
Yep, so we would probably see the Farm Fest top. I mean, Kale can play a little more aggressively than other top lanes, but not to the extent that we'll probably see a kill on Shen, at least not without jungler coming in.
Right now, Pobelter already at about half health, so Kale just showing her strength right now. She did take her Reckoning and Righteous Fury, so she's going to be able to poke him a lot with a Q and a couple auto attacks from the E. All the while, Karthus is taking a little bit of damage in mid while Morgana's scot-free, but she's already burned through about half of her mana, which is a little unfortunate for her.
Yeah, we could have Nocturne coming from an early gank, especially with the damage coming out here from Kale. This could be very helpful, but there is a ward in place.
Yeah, so. Kale has a really early ward. She sacrificed 2 health potions for it, but it looks like it may come in handy. She is forced to burn Ghost and get out of there. She turns around to do the Reckoning, and Righteous Fury is doing a lot of work on Shin right now. She's going to lose vision on that brush, and she decides not to chase. She knows that Nocturne is still in the area, so a good call by Zekint there. Crumbs is in this top brush. Looks like he wants to do something again. I don't think Zekint is going to be aware of it, so let's see if he decides to freeze a lane or if he's going to push right into a Nocturne gank. Pobelter can land a great Shadow Dash right there, bringing Kale very, very low. She is going to get feared and potentially go down here. Will the Ignite do enough damage? One more Dustbringer from Crumbs will bring her down. No, it brings her to only 37 health. She has popped her only health potion, but the Umbra Blades does work and takes down. That is going to be first blood for Nocturne and an assist on Shin onto Kale right there.
Yeah, very good job there by Crumbs. Kale never expected that. Thought she had a good jump on Pobelter there, that he was going to go down, and then Crumbs coming out of the bushes. Very, very good play.
Yeah, I mean, that was exactly what Crumbs wanted. As soon as he saw that she burned Ghost in that first little gank, he was like, hey, I can get a counter gank and, 90% get a kill. And that's exactly what he did. Just great job right there. Kayle, since she decided to go with that Orly Ward, which gave her great vision, she sacrificed 2 health potions, so she didn't have any way to really heal herself between those 2 ganks. She's picked up Divine Blessing at this point, so she does have a heal, but she didn't quite have that before to nurse herself after that first gank, and Crumb's just really taking advantage of that.
Still putting out a lot of damage on the Pobelter, though. I mean, that's the thing with Kayle. When she pops that range, just so hard for most top bruisers to deal with. Down at bottom, we have had Urgot go back, so Element's getting zoned here a little bit by Westrice and Bloodwater.
Urgot doesn't look like he's put down a lot of damage. He's only forced Tristana to eat up 1 of her potions at this point. You usually see hyper aggressive play between his Noxian Corrosive Charge and his Acid Hunter, but right now maybe he just hasn't quite had a chance to land a good one. Westrice may be playing super defensively and able to dodge those charges, which really puts a hamper on a lot of Urgot's potential damage. Urgot's passive, people are asking, is the Zen Touch Bolt Augmenter. It decreases damage of targets that he hits for 2.5 seconds. So he really is a very good counter AD kind of champion. He also just wrecks positioning with his ultimate. And between that and Nocturne, if he gets a good switch onto Tristana or someone squishy of that nature, Nocturne's going to be able to capitalize on that 100%. And if they do get in trouble to a counter gank or something, guess what? Shin's up top rocking his ultimate already. He is level 6, so very scary right now for 4Not. Tristana jumping into the Urgot here with help from her Janna. They're not going to be able to take him down, but they're putting out a lot of damage. They did take him to about quarter to a half health. He does have 3 more potions to burn through, so that's going to be okay for him. They're both just going to kind of heal up. And he has Taric just for good measure with a little bit of the imbue. He's leveling that up first. It looks like he's got that up to level 2. So Taric kind of being a heal bot at this point in time. I guess they're a little scared of the Tristana poke, which is exactly backwards as I would have imagined.
Yeah, I mean, very good poke from Tristana, but usually it is Udyr who dominates that early laning phase. Udyr, good lord, Urgot.
Well, Udyr's in the games. That's always good.
Yeah, but he rarely dominates a bottom laning phase. 4Not
here looking for a blue steal. They know that Crumbs is here, and they are going to come out of the brush right onto him. No spell shield for that Dark Binding because she cast it so early. Karthus ult is going to come down just to try to do a little bit of damage, but not able to pick up anyone. One bad Brad and Trix just not low enough for that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. They may be going bottom here. No, it looks like they'll just go back to lane.
Apologize. Apparently my keyboard is just a little bit loud, so I'm gonna stop using my keyboard and you know, start using my mouse, I suppose. Pobelter trading a little bit of damage with Zekent up here and taking Zekent to about half health. That feint is just doing a lot of work right now. And when you Shadow Dash in, you get that 50% damage reduction. You know, he's just kind of laughing in Kale's face at this point in time. But Kayle able to use her new passive, or relatively new passive, and shred the armor and magic resist of Shin, which is something that Shin doesn't want to see, but he still looks like he's getting the better of these trades.
Yeah, ever since that gank, it's really been a problem for Kayle to kind of stay in lane here. The early game was dominating. Pobelter was having a real hard time staying alive, but now not nearly as much.
Hey, escape and go to video settings and turn on colorblind mode. I would recommend it. You get it?
Yeah, I switched it.
There you go. Hopefully the viewers will be a little bit happier with that. That'll eliminate one of the complaints. The other complaints, I think, are just to have us be quiet. I'm not quite sure. But we're here, and you guys are going to have to deal with it. So there you go. Bot lane, Farmfest, Urgot, racking up 59 CS at this point to Tristana's 61. So they're both very, very even right there. You know, there hasn't been as much aggression from Taric as I would have normally assumed from a Taric-Urgot lane. It looks like Janna and Taric are going to high-five, and then the switch comes out onto the Janna, and here comes the follow-up from Crumbs. gets a Dustbringer. Will the fear go off? They do get the fear, and they're able to secure that kill onto Janna. And that is exactly what we were talking about. The dazzle right into the switch, right into the Nocturne ultimate. They didn't even need the Karthus ultimate at that point in time. It is on cooldown for the next 30 seconds, but I mean, who cares? They didn't even need it.
Yeah, it was really very good there. The jump in was very, very powerful. And great positioning by Urgot. Here comes Udyr trying to get something, but just stunned immediately. I think that's probably my least favorite thing to see is Udyr. You think you've got, bear stance going in, you're on top of somebody, and just bam, dazzle straight to the face.
Yeah, that was exactly, that was when they made this team comp, when they said we want to do Nocturne, Urgot, Taric, that's what they were looking for. Just such good team play right there. Dragon, it looks like, is going to be, I don't know, going to be contested. 4Not is already starting it. They do have a Wriggles on Urgot with Tiger Stance, so if he is lucky enough to get some good procs, they're going to take that down fairly quickly, and it looks like they are going to secure this without any save from Curse. Curse does see it. They did have that ward, so now the Dragon will be up about the 1640 mark. So we'll see if Curse did get that timer and will be able to kind of posture up for the next one and be able to contest it at least a little bit.
Yep, interested to see. Now, what surprised me is that we haven't seen any ganks centered around mid yet. I know these are both harder champions to gank, but they're also ones you really don't want to see scale well into late game. Like a Fed Karthus is just horrible to face, and Fed Morgana is just going to be real problems in team fights. You don't want to see, it's bad enough that Dark Binding stuns, but when it's also doing a third of your health, it's just terrible.
Apparently I said Urgot. I'm switching things up these past two games. I apologize. I said Urgot. I meant Udyr. They both start with U. Give me a break. I apologize.
Alright, we got some aggression bottom, but not really able to push anything onto the tower. The lane just kind of switched back and forth between one lane pushing all the way. It's really not been in the middle of the lane at all. It's pretty much a jungler's nightmare at this point. One team has the other pushed all the way.
Yeah, so Shin up top doing work, 96 CS to KO 62. So all the people that were predicting that KO was going to absolutely devour Shin, it's obviously not quite happening. Shin not even forced to blow his ultimate at all yet in this match. So that's still a variable that 4Not hasn't encountered in any team fight so far, or any trade so far, really.
Yeah, and I would attribute that in large part to that gank from Crumbs. Getting that early kill on Kale, kind of setting themselves ahead, even just that little bit, really I think was able to turn that lane. Because normally I do think Shen would have a very hard time with Kale. And
some pings coming out from Curse. They are aware of Udyr's presence here in the mid. I got it right that time. I'm learning. Shin up top, just still farming away. Just every time Kale tries to go into CS with her Righteous Fury or just normal melee auto attacks, he's taunting her, Vorpal Blading her, and just pushing her away. Just really denying her a whole lot. There's going to be a fight here. Crumbs able to get the fear off onto the Janna, who decides to shield herself, throw a Cyclone behind her, but it's not going to hit quite anyone. Udyr and Morgana engaging onto this Urgot. Will we see a switch from Urgot? Here comes the Shin ultimate. This is going to be a fight in the favor of Curse. A lot of damage going on. Jackie hiding that brush with his Defile on. Late wasting everything in sight. Able to take down Morgana. Being pushed back from Jackie. Or being pushed back from Janna, however. But she still may go down. Let's see here. Jackie does have his ultimate. But I guess he assumes neither of them are low enough to quite take them down. All the while, Kale up top. Kind of punishing Shin for leaving that lane. And going to pick up this tower up top, it looks like.
Ooh, onto Westrice with a ton of damage. Able to flash and jump out. But here comes Crumbs. Oh, this could end badly. The fear does go off. Great follow-up there by Curse. That was incredible chasing. Like, it looked like everybody had gotten out safely. They just didn't give up. They got onto Tristana there, and that was a beautiful kill.
Yeah, that was great. It was a little unfortunate for Tristana. He tried to use his Buster Shot to push Nocturne away and make the leash break, but since that wall was right there, Nocturne got knocked into the wall. It didn't go the max distance of Buster Shot, and so the leash was still on him, and Tristana, that just made her a sad, sad yordle. It was a nice dodge of the Dustbringer on Westress's part, but it really didn't matter once that leash was attached.
Yep, and we do have bottom here pushing again, taking the advantage that time while Tristan is down, pushing the wave back into the turret. But they did lose top turret for it. Very good job by Kale. That's one of those things as a top laner you want to do. When you see a gank like that and something like Shen going out where there's no way you're going to be able to get there in time, Really taking that top turret is one of the best things you can then contribute to that team fight. Because if Kayla just tried to make the run herself, would not have gotten there in time to really be a factor. But taking the turret at least got him some global gold and a lane advantage.
Crumb's getting bullied away from his own red buff. There could be a 2-on-2 fight here, Morgana and Udyr versus Shin and Nocturne. Udyr right now is contesting that red buff. Let's see what Shin and Nocturne want to do. No, it looks like they're just going to give it up. So that red buff of Crumb's is going to go to Udyr.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate, but it wouldn't have been a good fight for them there. Kale made it into the fight. It would have been a 2-on-3 at best.
Now Karthus back into the fray, taking down Morgana's Black Shield in one lay waste when she's a single target. So right there, just showing his work. He has that Rod of Ages and a Blasting Wand, so I'm sure he'll be building a Death Cap shortly, or perhaps Zanya's. I don't quite know. Maybe just holding on the Blasting Wand for fun? I wouldn't imagine.
And we're going to see Westrice pushing bottom lane. Bloodwater coming back to lane now, but Elements should be back over to help out Cop in a minute, and we'll see if they're able to push back out.
Jackie with such great CS right now at the 15-minute mark, or 16-minute mark rather, working with 160 CS, the highest in the game. Morgana following fairly far behind. I would say 30 CS is a nice margin for Jackie to have on top of that. But Jackie just padding his CS with this Wraith camp. He's decided, Nocturne's decided, oh, you can have all these Wraiths and pad yourself 4 CS every 40 or so seconds. So Jackie using that completely to his advantage.
Yeah, just an incredible amount. I mean, it's really rare to see a Morgana get out CS'd. So incredible farming, and it really has been doing very well. Gotten good items. He's been a good presence in team fights. Very powerful Karthus play here. Looks like Dragon will be going to Curse. Oh, wait. 4Not may have seen it. They may be coming in to fight here. Yeah, they have a CV.
Shin's still up top pushing, but he does have his ultimate now, you know, so he's just waiting for this dragon fight to break out, and the wall goes down from Jackie. It looks like he wants to get in here. The nice Dark Binding going on to Crumbs, and he gets ulted by Morgana. He's the only target there. Morgana popping the Zanya's Hourglass, able to take down Nocturne. The disengage from Janna, able to heal up her team a little bit. He's going to get a double kill. Jackie will take down three
triple kill on the ult.
Tiger stance from, or no, turtle stance from Udyr, and a triple kill. Wow, from one Requiem. That was fantastic.
Oh man, that was incredible. I mean, that was just incredible. That's going to put him 3 kills worth of gold right there. That's going to make him very tough to deal with. Wow. Great job there by Jackie. And it was, you know, the death ult from Karthus, but still, 3 kills is 3 kills.
Yes, indeed. Karthus able to secure his needlessly large rod, so he's going to be building, of course, into Death Cap. The Zanyas can come later. He says, I just got a triple kill. I am going hard AP mode now.
Yeah, and 4Not going to try to, looks like maybe group up here mid and make some sort of push, or actually, looks like going in after Pobelter, trying to catch him looking at the store.
Pobelter taunting, though. Pobelter knowing exactly what he's doing. And for people just tuning in, this is game 2. Curse did take the first game. So if they're able to keep this nice little lead here and end it, it's going to be not good for 4Not. So engage going on to Udyr. The wall goes down to slow him, followed by the Dazzle, but the Janna shield and his own Turtle shield able to keep him from taking a lot of damage. In the meantime, Urgot starting this blue buff here for his friend Karthus, and Karthus able to take that easily with a nice single target lay waste.
And here comes Pobelter. They have all 5 from Curse here in on this fight. Could be trouble if somebody from 4Not gets taunted. Just backing off now, going for Dragon. Don't know if 4Not's really got the presence to do anything about it. Good job jumping onto Pobelter there, though. A lot of damage going on into him. The ult from Morgana, along with the Invincible from Kale, that was well timed. Karthus not having the ult this time to pop after he dies. This fight not going as well.
A nice switch onto the Tristana. Let's see if they can follow up on it. Wester's taking a lot of damage, forced to flash over the wall, able to get some distance between himself and the enemy team. A point-blank Dark Blinding onto Elements. will stun him in place, but it looks like they're still going to pursue this Kale. Will Nocturne land a good Dustbringer? No, he decides to flash over the wall, but little does he know, he runs into a Tiger Stance Udyr, but Udyr pays for his transgressions with a nice Acid Hunter and Dazzle from the friends of Crumbs right there.
Yeah, very good job. I mean, the actually engagement didn't start great for Curse, but they ended up winning it anyways. I really thought the big problem they were going to run into there was that Jackie didn't have his ult and still win it. And alright, Spawns gets the ult and kills Bloodwater. Wow. Wow for the Karthus ult. And it looks like mid-turret will go down here.
And Urgot was trying to follow up on that great damage that Requiem put onto Tristana, but he missed his corrosive charge, so his Acid Hunters weren't quite locking on, and Tristana able to just jump away.
That was amazing. That was just a spawn ult. He was still in the fountain when he popped that.
Karthus too strong.
And everyone going to be grouping up again here. That's 2 great team fights in a row for Curse. This is going to make them really hard to deal with. 4Not is not out of this. They've got a good team comp. They've got a really good... They had a great idea there with that Morgana ult followed by the Kale ult, but it did not work out for them. They were only able to get one person in that stun, and then they were able to bring him down. That brought Jackie down pretty quickly, but just unfortunately not enough damage for the rest of the team.
Yeah, and Kale just, I was expecting more. I really wanted to see Kale come out and be like, hey, what's up? I'm a great top lane. But just being shut down by Shen, I guess I think people were quoting in chat that Crumbs was saying the only person that could beat Shen top lane is possibly Lee Sin, and that continues to hold true right now in this match.
Yeah, I really thought Kale would do better. But again, I still think a lot of it has to do with that early gank. It just made it so hard for Kale to continue, because you can't let Shen get ahead of you. He's tough enough to deal with if you're even, or even if you're ahead of him.
Yeah, 6 kills up rather for Curse. They're about 5k gold up as well. They're up 1 tower. The dragons, did Curse pick up that second dragon? I know 4Not got the first one. Crumbs being ulted onto by Shin, but just allowing him to get away. They're not going to hard engage on that fight at all. It would have been a 4-on-2 situation.
And good damage going out there on the Pobelter, but he should be able to get out of here just fine. And now going back in.
Going on to Tristana, or Janna, and he's able to spell shield the knockback, so he doesn't quite get there. The ultimate from Kale is going to protect Udyr a little bit, but now it is 4Not. Now Zanya's able to Morgana. Let me find words. This has been the worst fight in the world. Requiem is not going to be up from Jackie. Yes, it is. It just came up. Wow. It's just the perfect time for it to always come up.
A lot of damage. And see what that didn't do? It didn't get any kills, but I don't think they're going to be able to oh, never mind. Going straight for Baron. That is going to force everybody back. And Curse should be able to take a fairly easy Baron right here. That was a very good team fight. The Zhonya's pop was a good idea from Morgana, but really not able to get too much there.
The fight in which 4Not looked their best was whenever Kale was able to ult Morgana right after Morgana ulted. And that's kind of what they want to do, you know? It's like an extra little umph, you know? You don't have to burn your Zhonya's every time, or Kale doesn't have to burn her Zhonya's every time, or Morgana rather. So that time she was forced to ult Udyr, protecting him from possibly dying, and I think the engage from Morgana just didn't go as they planned. They didn't have that Kale ult to shield her, and it was just unfortunate for them.
Yep, and we do see a push mid here. It's possible they could get something out of this, but Cop is there to defend. With Baron buff up, I really think 4Not needs to just be careful about getting initiated on, because a good initiate and Curse could end it right here. Yeah,
they've got the Baron. They're up 7 kills now. They've just increased their gold lead to about 7k. It's looking very good for Curse. Looking very, very good. 244 CS from Karthus right now. Jackie putting on a clinic on farming right now.
Yep, and again, same thing, pushing this turret, but you can see they're being very cautious. You just can't give up too much. Even if it looks like a turret's open, you can go in and take it. It's just not worth the risk at this point. They got to wait out Baron, just kind of make sure they don't give anything too huge away until the fighting's back to even.
KO with the Zeke's Herald, interestingly enough. Not quite sure I've seen that. but helping out her Tristana, I suppose, in every way possible, and herself.
Yeah, and the Curse will go onto this tower here. They've got a decent-sized minion wave. They should be able to take it fairly well. Jackie taking a lot of hits there, but not doing too much to him as he's built a ton of health at this point.
Yeah, and they're going to be able to easily take down this tier 2 mid turret. They've got the Baron, so taking damage at this point isn't the scariest thing in the world. Of course, Elements has his imbue to pop up a little bit of health, and then Baron is just a percentage-based health and mana regen, so they really have no problem sieging any lane at this point, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go bot lane. All the while, Shin is going to go top and push that lane in because he's Shin, and he really just does what he wants.
So Shen can go where he pleases as well. And looks like, yeah, they're going to push bot with 2 and go for Dragon here. And going to just increase this money lead even more. They're almost up to 10k at this point. Yeah, that's really going to help him out there. Look at the farm on Jackie. On top of all those kills. Wow, 250 CS. He is 70, about 50 ahead of the next highest CS in game. So we've got Morgana coming up on 200, but not quite there.
She's going to pick up a blue buff. That's going to make her a very, very happy Morgana come team fight time. But, you know, it's really Curse's game really to engage and do what they want with that Baron buff. Shin caught a little bit out of position, but the Shadow Dash is going to get him out of trouble. Kayle not quite able to follow up. Shin just being as slippery as ever. Asking a target knock to see his normal move speed, 493. Or 390 rather.
And everybody's kind of grouping up here. It's one of those things where neither team's really comfortable pushing. I don't know why Curse hasn't been a little more aggressive here, possibly trying to take some of these outer towers. I mean, I don't think 4Not's going to be really comfortable fighting around tier 3 towers at this, or tier 1 towers at this point. They just give up too much and they gain too little if they defend it. Going straight for Westrice though, actually breaking the ultimate there. But it doesn't look like Westrice will get out. This third Acid Hunter will end it.
No, indeed, and this is what Curse wants. I'm sure they potentially will start to be aggressive now. They've got 30 seconds unabated with no Tristana, no AD carry for the enemy team. But it looks like Jackie's going to come up here and abuse this Kayle. He gets the Wall of Pain down. Here comes the Lay Wastes and the Defile. And they're just chunking Kayle's health. But if he tries to ultimate, yes, he kills her with a Lay Waste. He kind of gave her an option there. He was like, do you want to ultimate my Requiem or do I want to just kill you with Lay Waste? What am I going to do here? And he gets a nice max range Lay Waste to end the kill.
Yep, and was pushing onto the second turret here. Element's got to be a little bit careful. There are 3 enemies down there, and here we go.
Nocturne is definitely in old range, though, yeah, so he's definitely ready for this if this fight does go down. Morgana throwing out Dark Bindings, trying to zone Cop and Tarek out of the way. Let's see what happens. He does have a Frozen Mallet and red buff, so whatever target he decides to stick to, he is going to stick to. There's the switch. Elements almost goes down to the ultimate from Morgana. The Shin ultimate's coming in. Will he get a nice Shadow Dance off? The Black Shield will protect her from a taunt. Here comes the Requiem. Gonna rain down some hell. Let's see what happens. It puts everyone down a good bit, but Karthus all the while is just pushing top. He's not in this team fight. Udyr almost going down. The Janna ult saving his life with a nice de-initiation and a little bit of a heal. But, I mean, 4Not's losing towers at the same time. Karthus just pushing top as hard as he can. This is a fight 4Not wants to have right now. But Westrice jumping in onto Tarek, able to kill him, getting Kayle ulted, protecting her from a lot of damage. Crumb's forced to burn his flash out of there, and Shin is going to go down as well. That Feint not able to protect him from 5 enemy players.
Yeah, so they were able to pull something out of that to help them out a little bit, and they were able to take the turret with Jackie split off. But they did still lose 2 people. I don't think it's going to be enough for 4Not to make a real push. If they can take this inhibitor turret, that will be 100% worth it, but it looks like Westrice is going to get there a little too quickly. Jackie possibly in trouble here. A lot of damage coming out from Westrice, and he does not have a whole lot of mana to deal with it.
Is there going to be a juke? Some nice Lay Waste. The exhaust goes on to Westrice. Is he going to take down Westrice in this 2-on-2 situation? No. Just quite missing that last Lay Waste. Westrice is going to make it out with 35 health.
Oh, wow.
And no ultimate to follow up because he did use it last team fight.
And so that's going to be 45 seconds without Karthus now. Kerr just needs to be a little bit careful that they don't get caught in this split pushing. Shen really is the ideal champion to use in this split push instead of Karthus. He still did have a teamfight presence with his ult there, but it was not the best. It wasn't as good as having him there, having everybody inside the AoE. That ult helped, but it just wasn't too much.
Yeah. So up to a 6-kill lead for Curse, and they're up about 11k gold. 4 towers in the advantage of Curse. It's looking good for them.
It's looking very good for Curse. And I mean, Jackie in particular is just so farmed in this game. He's just going to be so hard to deal with.
2 Frozen Mallets is so great on this Curse team. Their Shen and Nocturne will be able to stick to any targets that they want and really screw up the positioning, especially when there's an Urgot in play. Urgot's just be able to switch whoever he wants, and whoever he switches, if they don't have flash up, they're dead. It's just how it's going to play out. It's very, very sad for them, especially with Jackie with all his AP. When they switch someone, the lay wastes are going to do single target damage, which makes it do double damage, which is really, really going to make a bad day for whoever gets switched. Unless it's Westress, who could potentially jump away, but anyone else without a flash, or Zanya's rather, is screwed.
Yeah, it looks like they're going after the other blue here, possibly preventing 4Not from getting blue. But Element's not checking the right bush. Ah, they'll see the ward now.
Udyr getting dazzled and going in. Let's see, the Nocturne ult goes off. He decides to focus Kale in this fight, leaving the rest of his team alone. Udyr may go down to one last Acid Hunter. Here comes the Requiem to clean up that kill. He's going to get one from it, and it hits Bloodwater so hard. Westress is just kind of positioning into his own jungle. That was a 1-for-0 exchange in the advantage of Curse, so now they're going to try to get this Baron. Kale brought down so low, she's going to have to go back, so that's another free Baron for Curse.
Yeah, there's nothing they're going to be able to do to stop him here. And with the kills they were able to get, I'm pretty sure they'll be able to push straight off of this Baron. Udyr was one of the tanky things kind of standing in their way of taking towers. The rest of the team gets burst too quickly to really try to stop him from tower pushing. And
Karthus.
Here comes Karthus getting onto Westrice here. He is going to be in trouble. Oh, wow, the damage from Westrice, though.
But a nice jump away. If Westrice had gotten a few more lucky crits, that could have been a dead Karthus right now. Morgana trying to chase down this Karthus. The Shin ult coming down to protect him. Jackie with a great dodge from the Dark Binding, forcing off Morgana's flash. He's going to chase with his lay waste and defiles. Lasagna's coming out from Morgana's, but she is just going to be dead
invulnerable. They're just going to make him take their time on this kill.
Oh, but her ultimate actually almost brings down Jackie with the Ignite. He's going to live with barely any health, about 100 health there. So almost a really, really clutch play by that Kale, shielding Morgana at the perfect time.
And there's the damage onto one bad Brad. That just is not gonna.
It's not something you want to see from your Udyr 32 minutes in the game.
Yeah.
You don't want to see your Udyr getting bursted down that hard at this point in the game. So it looks like Curse isn't going to be able to take down this other mid tower, and more than likely the inhibitor. They've got the Baron buff on him. Jackie is going bottom just to shove that for good measure, but they'll potentially back off after this inhibitor, unless they can take down a Kale, but it doesn't quite look like it. Tristana doing a lot of damage to elements right there, scoring some really, really great crits. That RNG is really, really loving Westress right there, trying to jump in on it, but that tower blocking his progress. Curse just pinging Dragon. They're going to back off, take Dragon, take buffs, and really leave 4Not dead in the water right now.
I don't know why Pobelter's recalling there.
Unless they want to do another fight. This could be another nice fight here. Morgana is nowhere near. The ultimate from Nocturne sticks him straight onto Janna, and she has nowhere to go. So this is a 4-on-5 engage right here. Here comes Morgana in here. Her ultimate will be out of 9 seconds. Will they be able to wait and hold off this fight just a little bit? Nice Dark Binding onto Jackie. Some nice crits coming out from Westress. Not able to take her down. The Shin ult will keep Jackie alive. Udyr going down as well. And Tristana. That was a 3-for-0 exchange. The Requiem coming out, not going to take down the Kale, but doing so much damage to her. With 2 inhibitors down, 4Not, it's just the Curse pinging that bottom turret. They're just going to shove in that lane, take down all the inhibitors, and then it's just a matter of time.
That was just incredible right there. They thought they had the jump on Pobelter, but Curse just turned it on them so quickly.
And it was really unfortunate that Morgana didn't have her ult there, because that would have been a great fight. Curse was all clumped up, and if she had gotten in there and popped his Zanya's, it could have been in 4Not's favor, but God, she only had 9 seconds left on her cooldown when that fight started, and it was over before those 9 seconds were up.
That's just amazing. Yeah, lane's pushing now. Curse should just be able to go back. There's Pobelter getting on the Morgana, but it's just not going to matter at this point. They should be able to all go back, buy, get healed up, and come back in for another team fight here, take this bottom tower. I just don't see any way in which 4Not's going to be able to stop him. Pobelter just taunting.
Just taunting. Just because. Gets hit by a Dark Binding, but they can't follow up on it right now.
I don't know where the rest of that team is. I mean, yeah, they are back at base, but they just don't know that.
Yeah.
And when you're not certain, it just too many bad things happen when they've been initiating on Pobelter.
Crumb's securing his red buff, and it looks like Curse smells blood. It looks like they're going to come in here and potentially shove bot or just try to win another straight-up team fight, because they definitely can at this point. Pobelter sticking to this Janna, missing a Shadow Dash by a hair. She's able to get right out of it. Yes, this is the second game. If you guys are interested, Curse did win the first game. Nah, Jackie, 355 CS. No big deal.
Wow, that's just impressive.
Oh, the flash and switch onto the Tristana. She's able to flash and jump away, however. Get her some good positioning here. The Morgana is going to come in here and try to clean up. She does pop her Zonias, but she doesn't have her ultimate on anyone. Crumb's cleaning up Janna. Urgot cleaning up Morgana. Karthus going down to Tristana, however, but bringing a Requiem and everyone else with him. That is going to be a 5-for-1 exchange in the favor of Curse, and that looks like it's going to be game.
Should be good game here. Very good job by Curse, particularly Crumbs and Jackie in that game, but the whole team played very, very well. That top lane was, like I said, the only one that I thought 4Not had a chance to win, and they completely were destroyed there. Great early game by Pobelter. Just all around incredible play. Unfortunate to see 4Not drop 2-0 here. They were one of the newer teams in the event, and it's always great to see those guys do well. But very, very good play from Curse.